Are we really about to tell the President of the United States that we have just over 6 months until humankind, basically every species, is completely extinct?
Hi everyone, I'm a little bit in a different setting today. I'm going to watch the new film on Netflix, Don't Look Up. I actually watched it already and I have some opinions about it. So from the very beginning you can see that it's a very star-packed film with Oscar and Emmy nominees and quite diverse cast in terms of age, gender. Very interesting premise as well. If you haven't watched it, maybe you should watch it first because maybe it's more exciting that way. But it's basically about quite a real threat that humans face of a giant meteorite that would be on the way to hit Earth. There is a podcast called Science Versus, and in this podcast there is an episode, which I will link down below, about the meteorites and the way humanity is controlling, calculating and preventing these risks. But overall the film is a giant metaphor for climate change. To avoid some copyright claims from Netflix, I'm only going to include the audio from the film and comment on some of the funny or sad episodes. It was quite an interesting film to watch for me because I'm a space nerd. I love all things related to space, and as a child I wanted to be an astronomer, but then I found out that you're supposed to be good at maths, so didn't work out for me. But I'm still fascinated with all things space, gravity, black holes, universe and singularity. I want to preface that it's very, very American. It's as if other countries do not exist, or even if they exist, they fail to prevent the danger. I think that we have to keep in mind that a lot of films that are produced nowadays, and a lot of films also about sustainability, even just like Cowspiracy and Seaspiracy, are super North America, US centric, which is a problem in itself because it's very, very Western centric and doesn't leave the space for the global south, which is actually suffering even more from climate change, to comment on the global issues. Having said all that, I think that this is definitely a film of our generation. It's funny to the moment that it's sad. The writers of the film were encouraged to make this film because they read the IPCC report. If you feel this existential threat after watching this film and climate grief, you should. On this happy note, let's watch it.
Just going on and on about that singer Riley being at DJ Chalamet breaking out.
It's very on the spot that the film makes, that there is very little coverage of climate change news, and there is no urgency about climate change in the news. Also social commentary that there is so much news and gossip about celebrities, but nothing of real importance about climate change.
So how certain is this?
There's 100% certainty of impact.
Please, don't say 100%.
So we just call it a potentially significant event?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it isn't potentially going to happen. It is going to happen.
Exactly, 99.78% to be exact.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's not 100%.
Alright, so a lot of things are happening here. First of all, no one likes the certainty of the danger they're in, although humans are 100% mortal, so it's kind of reality. No one wants to scare their public and their electorate by saying that they're going to die within 6 months. So they are not just trying to mitigate and downplay the danger, not the scientists but the government officials, but also saying like, does it even like make sense? And at some point they will say like, oh, let's get some Ivy League scientists from these prestigious schools to identify this, but maths is maths, and you can't discredit the scientists if they're telling you an unpleasant truth.
Let's bottom line this. What is this going to cost me? You know, what's the ask here? Timing is just, it's atrocious.
As always, even with the matter of human extinction, money and power play the biggest role. Since the White House is not taken it seriously, even though, I mean, it's not just the US the national problem, it's the international problem, so I'm curious why they didn't reach out to the United Nations. But it's an American film, it's a US film, like I said, it's very US centric. It's not realistic in a way, so yeah, let's just roll with it. To take matters in their hands, the crew...
They know what we're here to talk about, right?
Of course. Jack and Bree love doing science segments. Just remember, keep it light, fun.
There's such a mismatch of what the media wants to see versus what the reality is really like.
Are we not being clear? We're trying to tell you that the entire planet is about to be destroyed. The destruction of the entire planet isn't supposed to be fun. Maybe it's supposed to be terrifying and unsettling.
So even after somewhat scandalous appearance on TV, on a talk show, the engagement with the story is still very low, especially if it's outshined by the breakup, then reunion, and the proposal of some TV star kids. So understandably, after such a blowout, traditional media, this all descended into the social media culture.
Jewish billionaires invented this comet threat so the government can confiscate our liberty and our guns. # don't be scared.
It's very close to home because there is literally hashtags that climate justice is not real on social media. So the government finally started doing something, and Matt got all the best and the brightest on the job. Is it a happy ending? Well, not yet.
Look, let's establish once again that there is a huge comet headed towards Earth. And the reason we know that there is a comet is because we saw it. We saw it with our own eyes using a telescope. I mean, for God's sakes, we took a fucking picture of it. What other proof do we need? And if we can't all agree at the bare minimum that a giant comet the size of Mount Everest hurtling its way towards planet Earth is not a fucking good thing, then what the hell happened to us?
And so, just like that, in Don't Look Up, the comet became a debate. Is there a comet? Is there no comet? And that's why Dr. Minty has a breakdown during his TV session. Why people deny science that often is that often it's very abstract things, like for example this math, and that they calculated the distance of this comet to Earth just using math. So it's very abstract, but when you can see something with your own eyes, it's much more convincing for some people. This is called positivist view of reality. This means that people only take into value things that you can observe with your naked eye. But the world is not as simple, it's quite complicated, and we all know that we consist of small particles like atoms and quarks, and this you can definitely not see with the naked eye, and the fact that they are invisible doesn't mean that they are not real. It's begs the question then, will humanity be too late we will slip off our own comet, which is climate change. In the end, what are my thoughts about the film? It's super star-packed, and I think it's quite good performance, and don't have anything negative to say about it. I think it's too long, and there are several storylines about personal lives of the people who are involved in this discovery, which are not very exciting, to be honest, but at the same time I think it makes a better balance for overall the whole drama and the macro picture of US government actions and the whole comet overall. So I would say, I guess it's quite well balanced. I don't even know for whom this film is made. I feel like that same as with Seaspiracy. For people who are into the topic of environmentalism, it won't be anything new, and for the people who don't know anything about it, either they won't make parallels or maybe it's a little bit too on the nose, so I think it treats the viewer a little bit too immature. If you want to watch something productive, more productive, I have several environmental documentaries that you could check out that are both more on the topic of climate change and feel more helpful at the same time. That's my take on it. I'm also going to link some YouTubers commenting on this film and an astrophysicist commenting on this film, so check them out as well, and let me know if you want to if you want me to watch some other film. As all YouTubers and vloggers are supposed to say, please like this video and subscribe. Bye!